Hello, and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea, and today I would like to share with you more information that I've received from the 25th dimension during my last BQH hypnosis session. I'll be reading from a transcript of the session, and when I am referring to Lorrayne, she is the practitioner who was asking me questions I had prepared in advance of the session. And when I refer to me, I'm referring to myself under hypnosis, which means that the answer is coming from the 25th dimension. When the question is coming from someone else, then Lorrayne will say so as well. All right, I am going to start reading here, but before I do, I would like to thank you, as always, for subscribing to my channel and also for liking and commenting on this video. All right, let's jump in. Lorrayne, Josie Adams asks, will she get to see the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Canada get what he deserves, or at least be ousted? He seems to always get away with stuff that no ordinary Canadian would get away with. Apparently, he's now on a 2-week vacation in Costa Rica at taxpayers' expense. Me. Yeah, so she's not going to see him ousted because, again, they don't want all of that. They don't want all that drama. And he might be democratically, quote unquote, democratically challenged. So it might look like eventually there's going to be a change, but it wouldn't be like people going up against them saying, hey, you're evil, get down, get off this pedestal, and whatever happens after that. So he's not going to get what he deserves in that sense, in the sense of the question, but he's not, it might please her to know that he's not having a good time. First, he's been gone for a while. And even what she's seeing is not him having a great time. These people don't have lives as we believe, as we've been led to believe, that they are these elites and they have these golden lives. These people live horrible lives. Even the things that they have to do, the schedules they have to keep, the type of lifestyle they have, it's not all just fun and games, the way that they want to make it look like to us. Like, oh, I'm on my private yacht. Yeah, but you know, it's not what you and I would experience if we had a private yacht, in other words. Lorrayne, they're so owned. I can't even imagine what their lives are like. They're owned to the hilt. Me. Yeah, not only, but consider. Imagine the system of slavery they've been envisioning for us. They're just reproducing. This is how they live. They all have people that they have to do certain things for, certain things with. These are not happy lives. None of them have a happy life. And so is he in Costa Rica for 2 weeks? That's what they're telling. That's what they're saying. And of course, people like her are fairly, righteously getting upset about it, saying, oh, we're paying for this? The truth is that he's not having a good time. Well, again, he's been gone. But even if it was him, he's not having a good time. Whoever it is that is playing that role, that's why they're taking him out of the public eye for a few weeks at a time. Not because all is well and he's like, oh, moving on from what I've done and now I'm going to go on vacation. It's not like that. These are stories. They tell us to create these vacuums so they don't have to be so on top of these acts, of these parts that they have to play. But not because all is well in this world. Lorrayne, thank you. Okay. Hillary Farmer would like to know, it is forecast for September that we will have a financial crash. She would like to know if that is going to happen. Will we experience that? Me. No. So we are, again, quote unquote, in recession. And this is the United States, just in case you're wondering. They've been trying to destroy the markets. They've been trying to destroy the real estate market, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll definitely have a softening. And if she means by crash, the fact that pharmaceutical companies eventually, as soon as this thing gets recalled, they're going to be crashed. A lot of people you will definitely drag the market down. A lot of people will be appalled, like they didn't know this was going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not going to be a financial crash as in it's going to hit the small people like us. It's really more going to be internal, like the people involved with certain things. And of course, it can also extend to normal people in the sense that if you're invested in the market or invested in funds that are invested in these companies, of course, you're going to sustain some losses. But it's not going to expand as in it's going to be a complete credit crunch or economic crash in that sense. If by financial crash, it means that the market is going to come down, yes, because again, we're waiting for the recall of this thing. And as soon as that happens, the market will resonate and it will be affected for sure. But we're not quite sure what she means by financial crash. If financial crash means something at large that's going to affect the whole society and it's going to be horrible, like, for example, when everything was coming down, like in the United States, for example, when in 2007 and 2008, people were suffering, losing their houses, etc., that's not going to happen. Lorrayne, thank you. Okay, Alina asks, what was the true fate of the last Romanov family? There is an alternative story to them being murdered, where they were murdered by the Bolsheviks and instead lived their lives incognito somewhere else. What is true? Me. So some of them did get away, but not the main family, no. Those are stories. And again, we never want certain people to die. And we keep them alive, like Elvis. We keep them alive forever. And so, no, the direct family was taken out. There is no loyalty within the dark. So it's not like they said, we're going to save them. They could have, but no, they weren't interested. They just wanted to do away with all of them. But some people within the family did survive, yeah, but just a few. It wasn't like they were being protected. It wasn't like the Romanovs were being protected. And so all taken somewhere and lived in anonymity. They would have never accepted that. They would have never gone with that. Lorrayne, there's been the story forever that the youngest daughter, the youngest princess, survived. Did she survive? Me. No, she did not survive. Lorrayne, thank you. Okay. This is a question from Amy. Why are the dark or the powers that be pushing crickets and insects in general as good food source lately? Me. As part of the agenda. They're actually been pushing them for a long time. It's just that now they're increasing the push. They focus more on it. And there's just this idea that there are Class A citizens, which is the elites, and then there's us. And we shouldn't, with our dirty needs and bodies and all of that, we shouldn't use up all the resources. Of course, they're fasting on who knows what, right? I'm sorry, they're feasting. So it's saying that the elites are feasting on who knows what, right? But we should content ourselves in the name of whatever. In this case, food shortages, climate change, preserving the environment, et cetera, et cetera. We should content ourselves with insects because they're such a good source of protein. And they were laughing. Yeah, it's just part of the story. I mean, nobody really followed it. Have you started eating bugs? Because Claire's not going to eat any bugs for sure. Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I have an excuse. And I have a little kitty here keeping us company. Maxie, you want to say hi? You want to say hi, Maxie? All right. She's spreading her good vibes because I just saw a really disturbing photo that somebody posted, and I'm just I'm trying to clear it. So this is I'm just going to stop this for a second to say this. This person, I know it, I feel it, and it's obvious from what this person is doing. Just posted a very disturbing photo in a Telegram group that I'm part of. That is a Telegram group about marketing, online marketing. So completely uncalled for, completely out of context. And we always make sure that we repeat that that group is only for marketing purposes. This person felt a need, and she's been warned several times because she had made milder posts over time, and she's been educated in the sense of very kindly, she's been told this group is for course-related stuff only. She now just posted a very, very disturbing photo that I cannot get out of my mind. Now, this is a lesson for me because, of course, on the earth, we're going to be able to see all of this in real time. And, of course, I can't even cope with one image of certain things. But in her mind, what is happening? She's doing us a favor somehow, as if we didn't know, or as if now that we are educated by her, then all of a sudden what is supposed to happen? Do you see how when the 25th says that the only way to remove a reality is by removing our focus from it? That's the only way to dissolve a dark reality. What is this person doing? This person, by herself, she is lowering the entire vibration of an entire group of people that is 700 people. Really, she's done that with us. She's doing it everywhere because she wants this reality to exist. And we've all done this. I'm not picking on her. We've all done this. I used to rail against things too. I'm a human like everybody else. We want this. We think we are doing the right thing because this is part of the game. But really, now that I can see it from the distance that I've created with this type of information. Doesn't mean that we're ignoring it. If you're just educating somebody, then it's perfectly fine. But when you show something like this, are you educating or you're trying to cause drama? Are you trying to upset people? Because I don't know how long it's going to take me to clear this image from my mind before. I've seen images like this before by mistake, and I might have not slept for a week. So I don't know what's happening to the other people in the group right now. It is extremely disturbing. And again, she hasn't added any value. It's not like all of a sudden we're like, okay, we should take down the, oh, I don't even know if I can say this word, probably not. And and before we were like, oh yeah, they're great. So is she educating us like we didn't know, or is she actually adding to it because she wants this to stay top of mind? And people like them, it's all us. We're all one. Again, I'm not judging this person. I understand where she's coming from. But people that do this, they believe that they are resolving a problem, but are they really? Is this resolving the problem? It almost seems like she needs this. It's probably something that gives meaning to her life. She feels like she's a warrior. She's doing all of this, but what is she actually doing? So I just wanted to bring this up, not only because it's on my mind right now, and I'm trying to focus, and I'm just seeing this image, but also because it's a case in point of what we do here. We don't realize, we think that we are outside of the game when we denounce it this way, whereas instead we're fully in the game, whether we're on the side of the light or the dark or the middle. We're all playing the game when we are focusing on certain realities, because this is how we create the realities, is by focusing on them. So, all right, I'm going to get off my soapbox here. And again, just because, I'm sorry, guys, but just because I'm very upset about it right now. And also, this is, again, a lesson for me, because I thought that I would be able to handle sort of things better after going through all this training that I've been getting from the 25th dimension. And I'm aware now that is still very challenging. So I'm going to have to work on myself. But here we go. I'm going to continue reading here. Lorrayne, I'm allergic to shrimp and lobster, and those are just sea bugs. I'm not eating any bugs. And the 25th was cracking up because Lorrayne is hilarious. So, okay, Natalia says, does Shambhala exist, and is it of the light? I think you say Shambhala, maybe Shambhala, I'm not sure. And is it of the light? Me. Shambhala is just an idea, like we have ideas of heaven or whatever. So we have an idea of Shambhala, these cities, etc., etc. Now, in the past, we've said we did have a time on this planet when it was really close to what we call paradise on Earth, but that didn't last very long. So Shambhala is supposedly the city that is hidden, this kingdom that is hidden. And it's always the idea that there's something else, somewhere else. You got to go somewhere else. And there are a few elect ones or select ones who are so much better than the rest of us. And they get to see it, or they get to be there. And sometimes they're so good that they come back and tell us about it. It's all, if you notice, it's all the same plot that we have with religion. And so, no, there isn't. I mean, you can believe in it. It's an idea. You can absolutely believe in it. You can even experience it. You can experience everything you want. I mean, I can experience any planet within the matrix. I can make up my own planet if I want to. Doesn't mean it's real to other people. So in that sense, is it real? No, it's not real. It's an idea. Can you believe in it? I'm sorry, this is the question actually from 25th. Is it an idea? Can you believe in it? Is it real for you? Yes, it can be. Lorrayne, thank you. Okay, she also asked about Allatra. I think that's how you say it, is the name of a company, Allatra. Well, supposedly it's a nonprofit organization. She wants to know if it's of the light or of the dark. And Allatra is the organization started supposedly by this person who says that it comes from Shambhala. That was the connection between these two questions. Me. Yeah, it's not of the light. These are people, it was started by the dark, and there are a lot of people in the middle working with it as well. So it's not of the light for sure. Lorrayne. So Shivan asks, for those of us in this community who no longer want to live in this reality, and now that the goalposts for the takedown have been moved, can the 25th offer any advice to us going forward? She says, although personally she's getting on with things as best as she can, She's finding it difficult to understand any reason or need to cause disappointment to those who receive this information after dropping such a bomb. She does not believe it's as simple as getting on with it if the collective decides to change its mind and prolong this takedown for another few years. Can you give her some advice? And I loved the answer the 25th gave, but I also love that Shimon asked this question, because I know that many feel this way or have felt this way or still feel like, why are we here? So I thought this was a great question. All right, this is the answer from the 25th. Yes, so first, we've already said that we're not going to wait a few more years. So she doesn't need to concern herself with that. But at the same time, we completely understand that even an extra day when you are so close can feel like a huge imposition. That's why we wanted to remind everyone that it's not just a collective. We could be gone if we wanted to, but we don't want to. And we've explained more today about what was behind it. It's not just the entertainment. Why is that? Why are we feeling better about certain things? Why are we even entertained by certain things or having fun? It's because we have been very much feeling down and inadequate, if you want to think of it in that sense, in those terms, in reference to what we have done or not done in order to combat, to keep the polarity. And for the first time, because really there's pretty much mostly us left now, for the first time in ever on this planet, since basically pretty much the beginning, we actually are feeling like we're fixing things. We're doing what we should have done from the beginning or from the first reset, and we don't want to forgo this. We want to know that this was possible. We're doing this to feel better about ourselves. And of course, we're learning a lot out of it, a lot from it too, in terms of what we can do, what we cannot do, etc., etc. So it's almost like being in the beginning again. Unfortunately, we're dealing with systems. There are systems of old, but it's almost, in terms of what is possible, it's almost like being in the beginning when we came to this planet. Of course, we don't have, at least our worldly, we don't have the powers we had, but in terms of what is possible, in terms of energy, of the rules, we don't have the strict rules we've had for the past several hundred years. We are back to where we can envision and make things happen. So we are doing a lot of that. And again, we might not realize it. We might not see it on television. But a lot of us, the reason we don't want to go out is because we know this and we do want to see it. Very strange things are happening to a lot of people. We call them strange because, of course, we don't want to tell ourselves what's going on. Things that are out of nowhere are happening. And this is because finally, again, we have more fluidity. But we finally are stretching our legs and saying, okay, I've been cramped for a long time. Let me see here what actually could have been done without upsetting anything. What could have been done here? What I could have done as a light worker or as a light team player. So it's not that it's just the collective. Again, there's this feeling, and Clea had the same feeling. So there is absolutely no judgment here of I'm stuck here because the rest of the collective has decided. It's not like that. This is a concept from 3D where you have a collective, and if you're in the minority, you're screwed. Too bad for you. It's whatever the collective decides. This was the idea of democracy, right? No, with essence, it doesn't work that way. Each essence that is present here right now has decided to stay behind, and we are all having a benefit out of it, however tough it might look in a 3D way, that we're still here and still dealing with certain things. In fact, we've had people that, and actually there's a question coming up about this, we've had people like, I'm going to call this person Barbara. We've had people like Barbara who even left the Telegram group because she was so disappointed by the fact that the takedown did not happen on time. Now, here is what we want to remind you. One, we already know we create the reality. If the takedown didn't happen, it's because we didn't want it to happen at that time. It's almost like it was coming from us up here, and so we are telling you what to do. But no, this is you. You created this. This has been an accepted concept. We told you this from the beginning. Now, we're all excited every time we told you that we had accelerated. We had accelerated. You had wanted to accelerate it, to accelerate things. But then the one time that you decided that you're going to slow things down, all of a sudden, no, we're not going to believe anything else. And they were laughing here. Do you see? We're still picking and choosing to which point we want to get to. And then we don't allow anything else into our consciousness, which is perfectly okay. That's the whole game here. So there's absolutely no judgment. And either way, we've said this a million times. Even if this information had not been spread through YouTube, information has gotten out there. Everybody's aware of it. We needed to be aware of it. So no harm done, right? But this is to bring up the point that we are looking at things. As awake as some of us are, and we already said many of us have very high consciousness levels, as awake and aware and open as many of us are, we still have pickets. We still put in our pickets where we say, I will go this far, but will not go any further because I don't accept this. And that is perfectly okay. But at the same time, we want you to know you did choose to stay here. Nobody's holding you back. Nobody else. There is no collective. We said a million times, you do not have to participate within the collective. You do not even have to participate in a reset. The entire world changes around you and you do not have to see it. You do not have to participate. If you can do that, imagine, why would you not be able to be gone if you wanted to? Of course you would. So we completely understand where Siobhan is coming from. And again, she's not the only one. And she's very kind-hearted, actually. She's handling it quite well. But she doesn't need to worry about the collective deciding anything. It's not about the collective. Her higher self has also wanted to be here. It is so important what we're going through right now. This almost over time. It is so important to us as a team of the light. It is so important. This is information we'll be elaborating for a long time when we actually see what's been going on behind the scenes, especially since this new impulse started. This is going to help us so much on your earth as well. So this is not as dreadful as it might look from a 3D perspective. This is not a bad thing. Lorrayne, thank you. Our 3D cells are tired. I think we look out into this game and think, okay, nothing new is happening here. And it's so old and it's so permeated by the dark that those of us that are going to New Earth are like, okay, I just want to get there. But I think that many of us, I for one, was looking at it as a way to be rescued from my 3D life. And I've had to deal with myself in that particular perspective. Me. And you're not the only one. You're very self-aware, Lorrayne. You do a lot of work. You're very connected as everybody else, but many people don't want to know certain things. And you're absolutely right. Claire was feeling the same way, saying, okay, I'm not going to have to do certain things because the timeline is coming. It's almost like you're saved by the bell kind of thing. We understand this completely and fully. And not only we were excited about the deadline, we already said this was a surprise. I mean, the impulse basically trickled down and percolated just a few days, started percolating here not that long before the takedown. Had it not happened before the takedown, we would have not had to deal with the delay. It wouldn't even have been something that we would have chosen to do because it would have been all the same, all the same, all the same. But we do feel that something has changed. Many of us felt it before the takedown, that in the original timeline, something had changed. We just didn't know what it was. We couldn't put our finger on it. So I hope this message makes you feel better like it does for me. And I hope Siobhan, I would love to hear what you think of this. And again, thank you for the question. It's a great question and I think we can all relate. So thank you for voicing it. And thanks everybody for watching the video and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.